What's up, guys? In this video we're going to look at a game of Friday that I played on the app and that I recorded on the screen. It ended up in a 175 score, which is the highest possible score that is achievable by humans. If you want to get a higher score, then you probably need to play this game for about 100 million years. To get a 175 score, I think one of the first requirements is that you get a very big pirate. And I've got that one here. You want one that draws at least 10 cards, or that draws 10 cards. And you want the other one not to be the one that requires you to pay 2 life to draw an extra card. I think that should be enough to start a record attempt. So let's see how this goes. The first choice is fairly easy. Okay, so let's pause here for a second. I drew 3 cards and there were 2 -1s, and I was at a -2, so I was down 4 fighting power, and I could destroy only 3 cards. So my general approach is, if there's sufficient zeros left in the deck, to draw another card, and hopefully it is a 0, because then that 0 I will be able to eliminate for only 1 life. If I eliminate these 3, will cost me 4 life. If I draw a 0 here, it will cost me 5 life to destroy all 4 of them. Unfortunately, I draw a -1, which effectively costs me 2 life. So I go ahead and draw another one. I draw eating, which is bad, cost me another life. And stubbornly I continue, and here I draw the weak that I was looking for. And now I have 5 cards to destroy for 5 life. Okay, at the end cost me 8, but I have 3 -1s out of the way. This is already an interesting choice. I really like the double exchange, and this is just a value card that doesn't cycle. I wouldn't blame you for taking this card, but I ended up taking up the high scoring card, and this is unfortunate. I would prefer to draw a 0 so that I could destroy 2 cards for 2 life. Now I spend one of my precious focused, and I have no really good choice other than to destroy one distracted for 1 life. So now I've already lost 2 battles. If you want to score 175, you can lose 4. So the rest of the bad cards have to be leaving with 2 lost battles. So I have to search a big battle somewhere and get rid of a lot of cards. I'm not going to do this here because Exploring the Island is a good card, so I will just taking that. And they end up picking it up. So there's 1 week that has passed into my deck. And here again, I mean, the 3-2 for Exploring the Island is one of the best cards you can have in the early game. So it's an easy pick. And I actually pick it up, that's good. I mean, you want to have some good cards in your deck after the first cycle of your deck. And you need a little luck to pick something up. Again, another further Exploring the Island, so that's running well. And this is the perfect run out. I can destroy 3 cards for the price of 3 life. This is exactly what you want to achieve when you further explore the island. So now I have in my deck 2 zeros and 2 1s. And this is a semi-interesting choice. If you are able to grab the 0 destroy in your first cycle, it's actually not a really bad card. It is one of the 4 worst cards in your deck because it doesn't cycle and it has 0 fighting. But in the first cycle, with all the bad cards that have passed into your deck, and with the first aging cards that come up, a 0 destroy might actually provide some value. But in this choice it is really easy because it's paired with the the 0 copy, and that's just one of your best cards in the deck. So it's a really no-brainer. So that's the second week that goes into my deck, and now I get wild animals, so I can get rid of my last 2 zeros. Okay. So there were still 3 zeros in my deck, not 2, what I said before. And I get to destroy them for 2 life. So, we've played through the deck one time. 2 weeks have passed my deck, a couple of decent cards, no destroys. So the agent card that comes up, I will have to deal with it the hard way. And hopefully it will not hurt too much. Now, after the first cycle, you destroyed as many bad cards as you can. Now in the second cycle and the rest of the green phase, you really want to pick up as many cards as you can. Small cyclers are better than big cyclers and big cards, because you want to get a big deck. If you pick bigger cards, then you will have a relatively high percentage of aging cards in your deck that will screw you up. So by picking smaller cards, a lot of small cards, decent good cards that cycle, you will be able to make your deck bigger and have less impact of any of these nasty aging cards. Cycler is always good, so I couldn't get rid of the weak. I couldn't use the copy, so that wasn't very good. Here I can take 2 life, put it below the stack, and win the game, win the match. So that was decent. The story card, important. You really need those early game. This is I said you want small cards, but this card is really bad. Doesn't cycle, so I have no other choice than to take a bigger card that cycles. Bad stuff coming up, good stuff coming up. Okay, that's always nice to draw a copy and eating, so that you can gain 4 life. I will lose 1 life here. This week remains in my deck. There's nothing I can do about it. There's no destroys here, so they just have to pass, and I hope to deal with them later. Okay, this is good. Got the 2 power needed. I can destroy the weaker, and the copy unfortunately I cannot use for anything. If you have really a lot of bad cards left, you can try and draw a card and hopefully get a bad card so that you can copy the destroy and destroy it. But in my case, I didn't have a lot of bad cards in my deck, so not a play that seemed a good idea. Okay, very good. The aging card I got was very tired. It can be very nasty, but in this case I get a free equipment out of this card, so it actually helps me. So that's a good development. Here again, interesting choice. A very big card. The 2 double can be like value for 5 or 6. 2 times of exchange is a really good utility card that can help you gain life and have a more flexible approach to how you play. And you cannot get to 175 without ending on 22 life. So this is an interesting choice. And I end up taking which one? Actually taking the exchange. I had too many games where I thought I was doing well, but ended up with insufficient life to be able to get to 22 life at the end of the game. So that was the green cycle. Now starts yellow, and in yellow you really need to gain as much life as possible, because one of the last phases where you can win cards and be able to gain life. And as again, I will take the cycler over any big card. I got this one again. Am I going to find a destroy? No, so I have to lose a life again. Well, this is beautiful. That's 6 life here, right on the table. That's what you want. That's why the copies are so very important. I think the one copy is probably the best card in your deck, after of course the eating. So that's 6 life that I have now, but I still need to get 4 power, and this one doesn't help. Now I draw the exchange. I'm going to eliminate all these so that I can then change the 0 fighting card for something else, hopefully bigger. Now I draw the 2 times exchange, which is a card I like a lot as well, and in this case I have 2 pretty good targets. And hopefully I draw the destroy that's still in my deck, so that I can get rid of stupid. Okay, that's 3 extra cards I can draw. 1 card, no destroy. 2 more cards. And there is the destroy, so I can get rid of stupid and win the battle. And now I have still the below the stack open. The ability is still open. And I have 8 power. So I can put a good card back into my deck. And I think the best choice in here is to take the big card that cycles. That can help you win a fight. And it is a card that you draw for free because it cycles. So that was a good round. There's no reason for me to... Okay, sorry. Yeah. I get to destroy, so good. You need a little luck here in the game. Your destroy should come out at the same time as the aging cards. If this doesn't happen, then it can get very nasty. Okay, so this is an interesting choice again. I still have 2 fighting power left. That I'm 2 fighting power short. So, but I have a below the stack which I can use on any of these cards to draw another card, and a decent card to use it on is on the copy. But let's just first draw the card and see what it is. Okay, I already have my 9. So now I can copy to gain 1 life and put the copy below my deck, because I think the copy is the best card that I have here. And the only card actually that I can put back in the stack is the one that has a fighting power of 0, because all the others will get me below 9. So just gain some life and put copy back. No reason to draw, so just pick up the card. Sorry. Okay, I drew a destroy. Let's hope I also find some bad card that I can... Yep, I found a weak. I'm going to exchange a 0 and a 1 card so that I can get some extra fighting power hopefully on the table. Instead, I get another aging card and another one. Then I draw another destroy. So how are we doing now? We have got 3 power. There's not much I cannot win yet, so the best thing is just to see what's coming next. Okay, so I don't agree with this play. I would just always wait. It's a better approach. You just wait to see what's coming up. But okay. Okay, so now I have enough power on the table, and I can destroy this aging card. I could gamble here and exchange. No, there's no reason to gamble because I have no other destroys open. So just pick it up here, the card. That's okay. There's still 1 week left in my deck that I need to get rid of. Anytime I draw a vision, I like to use it when I have still 1 card to draw, so that I can pick 1 from 3. I think that's better than pick 2 from 3. So I draw 1 more card and I use the vision to find good cards. I already have a copy. I find an eating, I find another copy, so I'm going to gain some life here. So that's pretty good. I didn't copy directly the 2 life because what happens, I mean, you can do all you do later and maybe you draw like a destroy or a good or a bad card and a bad card. So that's it's premature to directly copy the eating. Now I can do it. Now I've already got the power to win this match, and I can gain my 2 life. No reason to draw the extra card because I already have my 10 fighting. Interesting choice again. A really big card or a very strong utility card. This is actually a card that you might end up not buying in the end game if your other bad cards are paired together. So the best is just to take the big cards in this case. Although I really like equipment, it just basically gains you 1 life because you can draw 2 cards for the price of 1. Okay, I cannot do anything with the exchange, so just grab the card. I like the below the stack, but the 2 times exchange is a lot better, so I'll take that one. There comes the last destroy. It's come a little late, but I've been lucky with my destroys up to now, and I'm lucky again. So I can get rid of stupid. If you want to make 175, you need to have some luck with your pairing of destroys and the aging cards. So this was a little mistake. I planned to use exchange 2 times, and I used destroy so that I could exchange it out. But the best play is, of course, to first destroy the bigger threat. Fortunately for me, it doesn't end up costing. As I draw no bigger aging card. Not sure if it was even possible. So 2 bad cards gone. We're doing well. And the last card in the yellow face is pretty big, so that's fine. That's a lot of card draw that I have here. My deck is starting to work. And that's amazing. I got a copy, I got the eating, I have got the power. So gaining 4 life. I can draw 2 more cards, but to a purpose, so I'm just leaving those abilities unused. Up to 18 life, that's just really good. I don't think I've ever been this high in the yellow face. So now we start the red phase, and now we need to be lucky that we don't pair two cards together that are both higher than 0, because then you cannot get to 175. Here you will need to get to fighting, to the fighting max of 47. And so this was the one-time destroy that I could get rid of. Oh, interesting choice. I only have 3 fighting power, a 2 times exchange and 2 destroys. Are you going to draw another card paying life, or are you going to exchange this one? I drew another card, I found a vision. So interesting to see what's going on. Hopefully I can find a really bad card. So I don't find any bad cards, so I can pay 1 life and draw it and destroy it. So my 2 destroys here are doing nothing. And since I'm in a red phase, the best card to put in front is the 3 power one, because in the red phase you're fighting for 3 or for 6, or I think for 10 or 14. So if I have to fight for 3, then I already have to fight 1 with the first card. I didn't do it. I think that was suboptimal play by me. See if I can find anything to destroy. Nope. Again, I think the best order is 4 to 1. If I have to fight against 3, I win directly. If I have to fight against 6, then I did it again. It was a mistake, I think. I get the fight for 3, so I win it with the first card. But I think that was not the best choice. And yeah, I'm doing well. I've eliminated all bad cards, all 0 cards, so I haven't been unlucky in the red phase. And 175 score is on, especially with the juicy 15 life that I have left here. 14. Interesting choice. I'm going to put this below the stack. Kind of depends on how many destroys I have left in my deck. Do I want to draw them so that I can get rid of this directly, or maybe there's no destroys left in my deck, so that's why I take a peek. I think. Yep. Take a peek to count my destroys. They were all 3 in here. So I cannot get rid of it. So I put it the best play is now to put it back in the middle, and sorry, on the bottom of the stack, so I can win the match, win this game against the last red card with before drawing out the deck, and then when I fight the pirates, then this card will be one of the first to draw. That's not a problem, because in fighting the first pirate I want to get rid of it. So I put it below the stack, and hopefully I can win before it comes up again. And that's enough. I've got 4. I can copy the double to get to 6, and I can double the 1 to get to 7, which is what I do. Copy the double effect to double double, and the 1. So now we're going to fight the pirates. You always want to fight the smaller pirates first, because with the big pirate that draws you 10 cards, you are going to draw your entire deck. With a smaller pirate you probably don't want to draw your entire deck, because it will cost too much life and it will not gain enough. I have 4 aging cards left in the deck, which is actually pretty optimal. So I'm going to fight the smaller pirate. I'm at 14 life, so This game is very winnable at to get to 175 to get to 22 life. So let's first draw my first 8 cards. So my plan is just to win this match as soon as I can, losing as few life as possible. So I will use all my exchange cards to draw new cards. I don't care what I will be dumping into the library, because I will not be redrawing it in this fight, and in the next pirate I will be drawing everything, so I can throw away good or bad cards in the library, doesn't matter. Exchanges are just draw cards. I have got the distracted that I left below the deck, and I know that in this stack of 25 there's another aging card, and you really want to find that one as well and destroy it, so that you can start your pirate to fight with a clean deck. I think that's important, because if you have one aging card left when you start the second pirate, then you can only cycle one extra aging card into your deck instead of 2, and you can abuse much less your exchanges, as you will see that I'll be doing in this game. So just draw as many cards as possible, use your exchanges to as draw cards, and you can also use your vision cards, this one, to look what's coming up and discard a card that doesn't cycle, like a focused or maybe the vanilla 2. These are just pretty bad cards to draw, and if you can dump them, then yeah, that's a good thing to do. The below the stack also, what I put below the stack is probably not going to be relevant, because I'm not going to reach the end of my stack. So I'm just going to use it on any random card that's on the left, so that I can draw another card. That's the final part of the game. You will see me take a long time. I mean, if you have played 40 or 50 games to get to this situation, then you really want to... Okay, very good news here. I found the second aging card, so that means I don't have to dig till the end to find it. I can just go draw until the end, until I have my 30 fighting together. So that's a pretty good choice. And as you see, I'm going to discard this card here. It's bad, it doesn't cycle, so I want to get rid of it and hopefully draw something better. The only worst cards in the deck are the focused. So the game is slowing down a bit, so it's probably time for me to tell my Robinson Crusoe joke. Using below the stack on any card here to draw another card. So Friday arrives at the uninhabited island, only to find Robinson Crusoe over there, and they end up chatting a bit about how life is going on the island and how he managed to get there, how he managed to survive. And Friday actually finds that Robinson Crusoe is a really attractive man, bronzed, strong, wild, and so she asks Robinson if you have any sexual desires, how do you do that on this island? Well, said Robinson, a little awkward, about half a mile from here there's a tree, and in the tree is a hole, so if I have any needs, then yeah, I use the hole. He looks a little awkward, and so Friday says, well, Robinson, how about a real woman? And she proceeds to undress herself and put her on the beach in a challenging position. and I'm playing my exchanges to draw cards and eliminate zeros. So Robinson is looking at Friday, and he doesn't waste time and give her an enormous kick between the legs with his feet. "Whoa!" says Friday, moaning, shouting, screaming, calling him names. "What the hell did you do that for?" And Robinson answered, "Just making sure there are no squirrels inside." Okay, that was my Robinson Crusoe joke. I'm still drawing as many cards as I can, trying to get to 30. Using a sword again to find any bad cards or see how quickly I can get to 30. I found already the last aging card, so the destroy is good, helpful, and with this card I can win the fight. As I said, I'm playing slowly here. I mean, I feel 175 is closing in, and I don't want to misclick or screw up or do something utterly stupid. Takes some time, but I only need to draw 2 cards to get to 30, and I have my below the stack and I have the copy, so that's plenty. Now we need 4 power, and the double will provide that. So that's pirate number 1. We are a little over halfway of the video, so you can imagine that the fight against pirate number 2 is going to be quite long. You're going to have to bear with me here. I've got no further jokes, and there's nothing else here I can win, so I just go and finish the game. Finish this pirate. There comes the final pirate. I'm at 15 life. I need to gain 7. And I have plenty of aging cards left to draw cards, and I actually will be drawing all 3 of them. I've got 3 destroys left, so I can destroy all 3 of them, and I can reshuffle twice, and these 2 reshuffles I will make sure that my deck is going to be very strong. You want here the copies, you want the eating, you want to abuse all your good cards as much as possible. In the first cycle you are going to use 6 exchanges. You've got 6 exchanges, 2 times 2 and 2 times 1, to put 6 cards in here, 6 good cards, so that's the eating, 2 copies. You want to have the exchange 2 as well in your discard pile before the reshuffle, and you can add a 7th card into the discard pile with below the stack that you can play when your deck is empty. So when 6 cards are in the discard, 0 cards in the library, if you play below the stack and target a good card, it will end up in your discard pile, and then you will get a reshuffle with a new aging card, and you will get a deck of 8. So you will see that I will play like this in this game. It's a long drawn out affair, but as you can imagine, when you get here you want to get to the finish. We're already up to 18. And I have a copy left that I can use to get to 20. But maybe sometimes you want to be able to copy a 2x exchange to get more cards in your library. In the end game you have just so many possibilities with exchanges and copies and put below the stack and winning live directly that it's just really complicated, and you should really consider carefully what is the best way to go. And it's very easy to play suboptimally, and that can be the difference between getting to 22 or getting to 21. So I think it takes me about 30 seconds more. Let's take a jump. There. I'm using my 2x exchange. No, I actually haven't found the 2x exchanges. That was a problem, because you really like to have those 2x exchanges early, so that you can put good cards in the discard. For the moment I've only put a draw 2, an equipment in the discard with an exchange 1, but the exchange 2 cards are still in the deck, and if you're unlucky they are at the end, and that's what you hope doesn't happen. But if you draw your entire deck, you are not going to use your vision until the end. So if you have your 2x exchange too far back, you can maybe use your vision to rearrange your deck. Okay, I think here I make a mistake, because I am exchanging 2 cards that are on the left of the pirate. It would be better to exchange a card that's on the right, like this copy here, because if I use below the stack you want to use it on cards that are on the left, and if you use exchange, doesn't matter. So it's better to first exchange cards that are on the right of the pirate. So that was I think was a mistake by me. The good news anyway is that my 2x exchanges are showing up. And my discard pile is already starting to be juicy. I think my next play is about in 1 minute, so let's move forward a bit. To win a little time. And I use below the stack on 2x exchange, putting it on the bottom so that I can draw it and have the possibility to dump more cards into my library for next redraw. I still have the below the stack to play. One card left in the deck, which is the 2x exchange, which I can use after the reshuffle. There's no need to play it right away. So this is the situation I said before. You have 6 cards. You have used your 6 exchange effects to play 6 cards in your discard deck. Now you can use below the stack to put another card, preferably of course a card that's on the left of your pirate. All the good stuff is already in here. The copies, draw cards, and I put another below the stack in here, and that gives me another card. So we had the reshuffle, an 8-card deck with one new aging card. They don't really bother me. And what you want really here is to have your draw cards, especially the equipment, you want to have them on top. If they are on the bottom, then you're drawing until the end of the deck, paying life, and then you have a draw 2 that you cannot use. So I use a sword card, maybe premature, maybe not. It's just really difficult to say. And I draw. I see that my first 3 cards are eating and the 2 copies, so I'll be gaining some life. There's not much I can do other than drawing them straight away, paying life, going down to 11. And gaining back 6. $17 sounds better than 11. Now we need to try and gain some 5 life more. And I have another aging card and another destroy, so I can destroy this aging card, so I can put some stuff again in my discard deck to recycle again. I have a 2x exchange in the deck and a 2x6 already active. So hopefully we can get it early, and hopefully it's not the last card in my deck. Also, I still have a below the stack, so if it's the last card in my deck, I can put something below it. I'm using my 2x exchange to use and throw my 2 copies in the deck. I draw the aging card, so I get rid of it. I draw the equipment, so that's excellent. Now it's got full value. There are still cards in my deck that I can draw. No, I just want to get a good use out of the second exchange, 2x exchange, which I still have in my deck. So to make sure that it works, I'm going to use my vision again and make sure it's not the 2x exchange that's on the bottom of my deck. I think the best play here is to put this card on the bottom. Is it right? I don't know. We should be winning anyway, but this is just one of those situations that you just have to calculate really hard what is the optimum play. If you can see it right away, you're talented, more talented than me. For me, I have to think really hard about this. And the below the stack on the bottom, that's certainly not the best way. You want it to be here or here. But which one goes to the bottom, the 2x exchange or the equipment? If you know it, you tell me. So I draw 2 cards, 1 card left on the deck. That's the perfect moment to use below the stack. And it's get even better if the eating card is on the left of the pirate, so I can gain another draw. So this game is going very well, reaching the end. I've got 2 cards to draw, 3 cards to draw with this one as well, and I hope to put some good stuff still in the discard pile so that I can redraw it. The 2 copies are already in there, so at least the eating card should be discarded as well. Checking and double checking. I need to draw the entire deck because oh no, nothing. Okay, so I've got the 3 cards that were in my deck when the reshuffle was done were the 2 copies and the eating. So now I have in my deck this deck was 4 cards, 2 copies, eating, and the last aging card. So now I'm at 19, I have to make sure that I destroy the last aging card, get to 22 and have bragging rights. No more deck, no more aging cards. There's the last aging card, so we get rid of it. We have 2 copies to gain 2 life, so the first one is already good enough. And that's it. We beat the game. Victory is ours. 170 points, the absolute maximum possible. It was blood, sweat and tears, I can tell you, to get to this. A lot of megas of videos, of screen recorded videos that I had to throw away. A lot of hours, but at the end I made it, so I don't think I'll be ever doing it again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If you are trying for 175 score, good luck to you, and hopefully I helped you on the way. So thank you very much for watching this video, and bye bye.